Anubis has the chance to shock everyone in Ragnarok. Odin has selected himself as the god's fighter in round 12 and will be facing Kentucky for humanity, meaning the Egyptian doggo has been done dirty for a third time in a row. But imagine the insanity of something like this occurring. I'm sure most people remember what happened right after round 1 of the tournament occurred for defeating Lubu. We see the reactions from some of the gods, most notably Zeus and Shiva, who saying the following: "It's been a while since something has gotten my blood pumping like this." Then, as a response to this outcome, Brunhilde picks Adam as humanity's second fighter, and we get his official introduction and walkout into the arena. Therefore, following that, we naturally have the walkout from the next god fighter. We have the announcer say, facing the origin of humanity himself, and following on from the strongest Norse god in Battle 1, we've got the strongest god in all of India making his grand entrance, and as we see, it is Zeus instead. Meaning the original plan was for Shiva to fight in round 2, but as we see in a flashback scene here, Shiva was on his way to the arena, very excited. Then Zeus pretty much cucked him to an insane degree, continuing to say, "It's my turn now," enraging the Indian god. However, Zeus unleashed some of his power, forcing him to accept the old man's terms and allow him to fight next. This later stemmed into a result of Shiva being done dirty 2 more times. This is because the likes of Poseidon proceeded to go after Zeus, then Hercules as well before he finally got his chance. But the thing I'm going for here, imagine we see the announcer introducing Odin as the round 12 fighter, then similar to round 2, some errors have occurred, Anubis is the one to walk out, leading into a flashback similar to what we got here, but this time we have Odin walking out and Anubis approaching him, raging out due to what's been done to him in the previous 2 rounds. Odin at first has some rage, but upon taking a closer look at Anubis, he understands that this Egyptian doggo has the power to claim the victory without a doubt, and allows him to go. It's not really a scene that makes Odin look bad, it's more so pure hype for Anubis, which, not gonna lie, has been lacking so far since his introduction, and this will also allow Brunhilde to face a colossal defeat, in the sense that Kentucky was put on humanity's roster for the sole purpose of fighting and defeating Odin, meaning if he isn't the one to face Odin, he may be in some danger and Brunhilde could face some kind of defeat. But we do have one issue with this insane theory I'm imagining a lot of people are hoping for now. That being how we just got the Record of Ragnarok Volume 26 summary, which is the following. Ragnarok Round 11, Simo vs Loki, the climax. Loki, the most dangerous trickster in heaven, had laid trap upon trap. In response, Simo unleashed a desperate all-out strike. Furthermore, the next match is decided. Odin scheming to revive the primordial gods versus Kentucky, ally of Buddha. The fateful 12th round. The truth hidden within this divine realm will be revealed, which pretty much is 100% confirmation that round 12 will be between Odin and Kentucky, meaning it is a fact that Anubis is now on par with Shiva with the amount of times he's been done dirty, and honestly, it may be to a more severe degree at this point. Therefore, make sure to listen closely as I break down absolutely everything we know about Anubis and the Egyptian pantheon in the Record of Ragnarok story so far. So we first got introduced to the doggo in chapter 84, right after round 9 concluded with Apollo defeating Leonidas. We see Brunhilde select Okita Suji as the next human fighter. Then, as a response, we cut to the remaining gods deciding who's going to fight next, resulting in the introduction of Anubis, who's begging Zeus to pick him to fight, something that leaves Zeus concerned at first, but all of them pretty much agree or have a lack of care for such a response. This includes the likes of Odin, but then Susnor also makes his grand appearance to the series, highlighting his insane pressure and doing a similar thing to what the likes of Zeus did to Shiva previously in the story. Susanoo is here and wants to fight, and this is solely due to the human fighter Okitsuji being chosen, so unlucky to our boy Anubis. Throughout that fight, we see him getting excited and more hyped for the chance to have his go, giving everyone the impression that he will be fighting in round 11. However, with no discussion between the gods, Loki selects himself, meaning Anubis didn't even get a chance to fight or argue about going next. And it seems like a similar thing is occurring right now for round 12 with Odin selecting himself. We may see an interaction, and I hope we do, but rip to the doggo. And this has led people to actually believe that the authors hate the Egyptian pantheon. This is in combination with the official and canon side manga Apocalypse of the Gods, which had its first fight between Cuchulainn and the supreme god of the ancient Egyptian pantheon, Ra, who was introduced as an absolute monster who's part of a group known as the Outer Gods. This is because in the past he went directly against the Valhalla constitution and tried to destroy humanity alone, requiring many gods from Valhalla to work together for the sake of stopping him. And even then, the sand in Egypt was caused by Ra's destruction. That is his canon introduction in Ragnarok, alongside having a hostile interaction with Zeus. But when it comes to his fight with Cuchulainn, at first he was highlighted as insanely overpowered, dominating the demigod and getting praise from everyone watching. This includes the like of Shiva due to his heat and pretty much everyone else. Then out of nowhere, Cuchulainn ended his transformation and unleashed his spear, which indeed one-shot Ra, facing a defeat in the Egyptian pantheon, and the most disappointing one or disrespectful path they could have taken. But it is important to note that Ra, while insanely damaged and technically should be dead, it does highlight him as likely surviving, which also includes the introduction of various other Egyptian gods and goddesses throughout his fight as well. Characters that I do believe will be appearing in the main series, alongside the grand return of Ra himself. The second Anubis finally gets his chance to fight in the Ragnarok tournament, which will indeed provide another canon interconnection between the main series and Apocalypse, as I've already got Morrigan shown in Loki's flashback, providing a canon and direct connection we needed. Therefore, at the current minute, I won't say the Record of Ragnarok creators hate the Egyptian pantheon, and if they did hate them, they probably wouldn't even include them in both stories. And while people seem to be disappointed with Anubis' design and personality, I do believe they're going to deliver when he does get his chance to fight in the Ragnarok tournament, as right now he is the final remaining god on the original roster. However, all of this naturally begs the question of who Anubis will actually be fighting, as right now we have two fighters remaining on humanity's roster, that being Rasputin and Nostradamus. Two fighters who are kinda in a weird situation at the current minute. Nostradamus has been set up since around chapter 55 as humanity's Joker, but isn't fighting Odin, most people's common prediction, and so far people don't really see the matchup between him and Anubis going, or it doesn't seem like Nostradamus has been set up to face Anubis in the tournament. At least that's most people's view at the current minute. While the likes of Rasputin still hasn't had his full design revealed, the most we've ever gotten is these two panels, which does give some hints and more so confirms that bro isn't a femboy, but a full reveal is still lacking after 107 chapters, kinda wild. But a very common prediction since the very start of Ragnarok has actually been Rasputin versus Anubis. So at the current minute, that will be my personal prediction, and of course our boy Rasputin winning, naturally due to him being top of the verse. And no, that isn't because the authors hate the Egyptian pantheon. I'm imagining they're going to provide more information about the underworld as I broke down in this video, something we require more information about, and will likely make Anubis an absolute monster, and I do hope he has some type of transformation, something we've been lacking in more recent rounds as well. But let me know your thoughts and everything down below. Watch these videos, shout out to the members, check out Gamer Subs. That's it guys, peace.